So here's a demonstration of a mod I'm calling Low Flying V. Sort of the point of this one, if you know the Kerensikoff dash, I'll show you how to do it here in a second. The Kerensikoff dash, essentially what you're doing is you're slowing down time and then you're spamming the forward button. So you're dashing forward so that when you come out of slow motion into real time, the game has a little bit of a glitch and it multiplies your speed by the new regular non-bullet time. And so you're going super speed. So what this mod does is I'm like, all right, well, once you do that, the mod essentially kicks in. I mean, it's watching you, and then as soon as it notices that you've done that, it kicks in and then turns you into like a little cruise missile. Basically, keeps you airborne so you never lose. Plus, if you slow down, it will auto. I'll show you. So the first thing you need for Kerensikoff, go into cyberware here. I think all you need is this one. I made a new character and just kind of tried to do minimal. I was testing a lot with. Oh, I'm not in a doctor right now. I just got done swapping out my legendary. I wanted to make sure that it still works with common, and it does. So I think that's all you need is the Kerensikoff. So what this does, what I'm going to be doing is the blocking, right mouse button block. So let me just show you. I'm talking a lot. So you hold in your right mouse button, and then you just start spamming forward. Right? And so that was, notice how I kind of dashed forward a little bit. So as soon as you start holding in your right mouse button, you can let up immediately. And in fact, with the current version, the way that CyberEngine tweaks maps key binding, I can only see when the key is let up, which is really limiting. And I can't see multiple key presses simultaneously. So, yeah. So basically, let me just do it. So you hold in your right mouse button. And I've let off of my right mouse button as soon as that started. And now I'm just spamming my forward. Okay. The next thing you need to do is right as you're coming out of that, you want to start hitting your space as well. So now my mod is kicked in. And so I'm keeping you from falling to the ground, and I'm keeping your speed minimum. If you look at the values in my config, if you open it up and look at it, you'll see speeds like 25 and I max out at 100. Keep in mind that the speeds that the car reports, going 100 miles an hour, it's about 4 times. So when I say 25, you're doing the equivalent of car going about 100, roughly 4 times. So when I say I cap out at 100, that's capping out at a car's version of 400. Let's see how fast we can go. I don't know how fast. I turned off my debug. So notice how it slowed back down when I went up the hill. I keep the minimum speed at 25 unless you start hitting your back button, and then it just falls out. So what I do is, to get out of this low flying V mode, is you just you have to keep tapping your S. You can't hold it in because, like I said, I can only detect key up events. So you have to just kind of keep hitting it. So let me jump back in and I'll. Okay, so now I'm flying. So you can use your left and right keyboard, turning left and right. And I just kind of have to Again, if you could hold it in, I could be a lot smoother. Hopefully, when you start getting those warnings, if you're touching the ground, they'll kick you out, you know. But with this thing, yeah, I keep talking, I guess. The other thing I do is if you move your mouse, see how it's jittery? That's another constraint I have to fight with. I have to skip every 4th frame. So 4 frames, I do my physics thing. 1 frame I let up, and that gives the game a chance to listen to the mouse. Up and down is nice and smooth. It doesn't interfere with that. But left and right with the mouse is jerky. So what I'm doing is, as you move left and right with your mouse, I'm slowly pulling the current velocity toward the mouse. And I'm actually pulling the look direction a little bit toward the velocity. But it's way more, the look direction is driving the velocity. So, I was on the wrong button. Yeah. I also detect if you're standing on the ground. So as soon as... Am I doing that? Oh, my thing was still running. That's a good segue here. I realize I'm kind of rambling. So, is this running? I don't think it is. I would recommend the FreeFly mod. I have it mapped 5, and then I just map it to my arrow keys. So this is the FreeFly mod running right now, and it doesn't care. My mod tries to worry about collision detection. This FreeFly doesn't do any kind of collision detection, so you can go anywhere, which is great if you're stuck inside of a building. You can just activate FreeFly and then get yourself out, and especially if you fall below. So what happens? Let me just get out of FreeFly. So the game itself, even if you fall, the game itself has a bottom. So now I'm back. Hopefully I detect that and turn off the flight mode. If I'm flying while reloading, bad things can happen. But I've been testing this all weekend, and tweaking and refining. Okay, so now that let's get out of here. So I'm just hitting my W. Come on. So if you do, let me see if I can. Pop under, yep. So if you do, just kind of aim upward and keep hitting your jump, and so what I do is, when you look up and down, I pull the velocity toward the direction that you're looking. Oops. So if you wanna go up, look up, plus hit your jump. The combination will really kind of kick you up. So let's find some interesting terrain. So, like, see this overpass here. I can try to go over it, but without any key presses, I just barely made it. But if you're coming up to an overpass, you can just kind of duck your head, and it will pull you under, kind of suck you under. Let's go to this dam. Yeah, so what I'm doing is doing a bunch of ray casts all the time. So I'm finding where I'm in a hostile area too. I'm seeing where objects are, and then I just turn each of those little raycast hits into a repulse. So it feels a repulsion effect. So that's kind of keeping you airborne. Let's get out of here. Trying to head back to town. Yeah, so when you get those warnings, just kind of look up and keep jumping, and you'll jump over their little virtual barrier. And then once you get on the other side, then they won't bother you anymore. Let's head back into town. I suppose I could pause. Here we are. We're in town. So, yeah, it's just kind of fun. It seems pretty stable. Every once in a while I'll get a crash. I don't know if it's processor limited, or I've noticed if a car is going by, I think it's the raycast hitting a moving car. It's rare, but it might be machine dependent. So this is where I came from. So I don't know if there's much more to demo. That's pretty much it. You can fly with your, if you have your controller. It's for ASDW spacebar. I think those are the only buttons I listen to, and right mouse button, but that's only to detect the... No, I disabled that. Yeah, so ASDW space. Yeah, it's kind of fun. Kind of my goal was, one, just to be fun, but to invalidate the need for a car. You can have a car if you want, but if you don't want, then... I cut the corner short. And of course she has a mission for me.
Hey, gas is fine. Not the brightest bulb.
I was just going to end the video too. Just didn't want. So, I think that's about all I had to really say. Yeah, I'll end it here. Okay, have fun.